Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Fan Art. Now again today we're looking at some more Powermon from DarkSilvania. So let's just kick this straight off, shall we? First off, we're looking at a nice chain here today to do with bugs and day and night and stuff. So first off we have Eclipilla, which is obviously from Eclipse and Caterpillar. It's a bug type and is the Eclipse Pokemon, that's better. Eclipilla is a very active Pokemon who is always awake. It only sleeps some minutes during the dawn. They spend almost all day eating to evolve. So I like the design on Eclipilla. As you can see, it's a mix of kind of sun and then moon, which looks great. I can see, like, if it was in game, gender differences. What I'd like is like males be like that and then females be like the other way around, sort of. I think that would make a nice gender difference, really. Make it a nice change, just to even things out a bit. But that's my own thoughts. So if we move on now. Next up we have Sollune, which is obviously a mix of Sol, which is sun in Spanish, and Cocoon. It's a bug light type and the sunlight Pokemon. Sollune can be found only during daytime. This Pokemon possesses very little legs that they use to hide when the sun sets. Again, looking very good here. Definitely looks like a Cocoon Pokemon, but obviously with sun, the design of the sun. And you can imagine it just sitting there soaking up solar energy, I would assume, during the day. And then we have here the evolution of obviously Sollune, Heliosine, which is Helios, which means is sun in Greek, and shine, which is a very nice name. It's a bug-like type again, and is the morning sun Pokemon. Heliosine's white scales can reflect sunlight, making its body shine incredibly white. This Pokemon floats along the sky, following the sun. Some people call them the Sons of the Sun. Now, the design here, it looks a bit complicated for me, but I can deal with it, really. It's a moth, obviously, some sort of moth Pokemon, I'm guessing. Obviously with sun designs on its wings, two big horns, in the shape of a sun, sort of, and then just general, just orange and bright and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of the design, but I like the concept of this line, as we're now going to see more of. Next up we have Shelluna, which is a combination of shell and luna, which is moon in English. Bug dark type and is the night shadow Pokemon. Shelluna can only be found during the night time. This Pokemon possesses very low legs they use to hide when the sun rises. So like the opposite of Sollune, which you can imagine, you know, in the morning the Sollunes come out to sit in the sun, and in the evening the Shellunas come out to bathe in the glory of the moon. So again, I'm liking the concept. And then here we have the evolution of Shelluna. We have Selenion, which is a mix of Selene, which is moon in Greek, and Neon. It's a bug type again, and the new moon Pokemon. Selenion's black scales absorb the light, making him look incredibly dark, but his blue marks shine with the moon like neon lights, hence the name. This Pokemon flies in a circle under the moon. Some people call them the Sons of the Moon, as you can expect, because it's the same opposite of Helios. So again, the design on this one looks a bit better, because its kind of arms are a bit smaller, I think, so that's a lot better. Obviously its horns are now moon-shaped, and its blue markings has got moon shapes on its wings, and stuff like that. Just generally, I like that one a bit better than Heliosine. So if we look at the thing as a whole now, as I've said several times, I like this idea of a kind of caterpillar that moves different ways whether it evolves during the day or during the night. I think you can imagine that Eclipilla will evolve when at level 20. If it's the day, it will evolve into Sollune. If it's the night, it will evolve into Shelluna. You know, that's what's going to happen with the evolution chains. There, I do believe. Next up we have a kind of what I assume be legendary Pokemon. I'm not exactly sure what they would be classed as legendary Pokemon. But we have they're all based on weather, so let's get started, shall we? First up we have Raysoon, which is a combination of rain and monsoon. It's a water flying type and is the water spout Pokemon. Its ability is drizzle, as you might expect, which makes it rain. Raysoon flocks live inside storm clouds carrying rain wherever they fly. Their bodies gather humidity from the clouds around them, creating new clouds around their bodies, except their heads and long necks, which drive people to mistake them with snakes. Its signature move is Monsoon, which has 10 PP, a power of 100 and accuracy of 80. And the description for that is the Pokemon gathers water around its opponent, dropping huge streams of water with great force. If it is raining, this attack gains a power boost of ×5. So times a half, sorry. Times, yeah. So 50% increase. Yeah, which would be whenever Raysoon is in battle. So, you know, hence why it's its signature move. So I'm liking the design of Raysoon. It definitely looks like a water bird with clouds on it, obviously, and I can try to think what bird it's based off of. Not a swan. Nah, it's not going to come to me. You guys probably know what I mean. So let's move on. Next up we have Haboose, which is a combination of Haboob and Dust. It's a ground electric type and is the Sandstorm Pokemon. Its ability is Sandstream, and the description for it reads: Haboob live in big packs who travel in sandstorms across the desert. They appear after thunderstorms hit the ground, attracted by the lightning. His body is surrounded by sand and dust, which float and stick together due to the static electricity generated by the constant friction of the sand itself. Native Pokemon people consider them spirits of the desert. And its signature move is Haboob, which has 10 PP, a power of 100, accuracy of 80. The Pokemon directs powerful sand streams towards the opponent with great force. If a sandstorm was raging, this attack gains a boost of 50%, as with Monsoon. So, the design here, don't like it as much. I don't really get what's based off of, probably. So, some sort of, it looks a bit like an Egyptian sort of thing. But yeah, I like the sand bit around it, but not sure about the arms. Maybe the rest of the body's all right. The head is pretty good. And then we have Hemoon, which is a combination of Heat and Simoom. It's a fire poison type and the Heatweave Pokemon. It's Heatwave, sorry. Heatwave Pokemon is foreign, sorry. Ability is Drought, and its description reads: Hemoon travel in large groups, gathering heat from the sun and storing it in their bodies. To avoid enemies, this Pokemon releases the heat they store, so they turn invisible thanks to the distortion the heat creates in the air, almost like a mirage. This Pokemon uses heat to hunt too. Its signature move is Simoom, PP of 10, power of 100, accuracy of 80 like the previous ones. The Pokemon attacks with waves of superheated air can even poison the foe. If sunlight is strong, attack gains a boost of 50%. Now I definitely love the design on Hemoon, looks great, definitely what you'd imagine from a poison and fire type. Kind of got those wisps of heat, I suppose you could say, and the poison purple colouring, which looks awesome. Yeah, it's based on, I'm assuming a crocodile of some form. Not exactly sure, but that's what it looks like to me. But I do like the design, I'm sure you guys agree with me on some of that. And then last for the set, we have Zoodale, which is a combination of Zood and Hail. It's an Ice Rock type and it's the Blizzard Pokemon. Its ability is Snow Warning, which as you know starts a snowstorm. And Zoodale travel in large packs around the snowy mountains and snowy forests. Their bodies are so cold that the air around them is frozen cold, which creates ice shards around them. They travel in the blizzard without problem, being so that people even believe they bring the snowstorms with them. Its signature move is Whiteout, being a PP of 10, power of 100, accuracy of 80, and the Pokemon attacks releasing a white wall of cold air mixed with sharp ice shards launched at full force. If a hailstorm is raging, this attack gains a boost of 50%. So, again, I don't like the design as much here. It's a bit too complicated for me again. You can't really see because the ice shards kind of they're part of the body, but they're floating in the air. You can see its horns just about, but then the wisps kind of blend in with the horns and don't make it look too good. It's a bit too, in your face sort of thing. But I like its underbody though. It looks pretty cool for an ice rock type. And then we have a bit of here. Here we are. Raysoon is based on the Anhinga, known as the Snake Bird, and a Storm Cloud, obviously. And Haboose is based on a Coyote and Dust Cloud. That's what I was. Yeah, the face Coyote. Hemoon is based on a Monitor Lizard and a Heatwave. I can say it now. It's a lizard that stands on 2 feet, I think. I'm not sure. Is it a Monitor Lizard? It could be called a Komodo Dragon as well, I think. And then Zoodale is based on a moose and snow. Yeah, we could guess that easily. Overall, I like the concept of Pokemon to do with the weather. Obviously, we've had Groudon and Kyo before, but that's to do with more land and sea, I suppose, rather than weather, even though they do inflict weather conditions themselves. But overall, I'm liking the concept and the idea. So guys, that's it for this episode of Pokemon FanArt. A very, not short, it's almost 10 minutes now, but we only focused on two chains, which is interesting, but we did get a fair lot of Pokemon looked at. There's 9 Pokemon there, so I went into depth for them already. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like and comment down below. Say what you think about these Pokemon. Subscribe if you haven't already, and wait for more fan art soon. Loads more episodes coming with more Powermon. Bye guys.